Heyo, I'm Kevin and I play the Binding of Isaac. Ooh, it's a tail end of a Sunday. Time flies when you're inside and having fun. I am. So I want to talk about videos, the types of videos that I find fascinating on the internet. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I don't want to beat around the bush. There's many different videos that I watch. And there's also, there's videos that I look for. There's also videos that kind of show up in front of me. Do I want this? Do I want no range? Ugh, sure. That's fine. So there's videos that I look for, and then there's videos that I don't look for, but I still watch anyways. So let me explain. There's like videos, there's channels, YouTube channels, TikTok channels, Instagram pages that you subscribe to, and then there's ones that you don't subscribe to, but it just kind of shows up at your door, right? For me, the videos that I watch, I consider them like guilty pleasures almost, because it's strange videos. First is like hoof, you know, like horses, they grow hooves because of how they're genetically designed or bred or whatever. Like their hooves continue growing because they're supposed to be grinded down as they walk or run. So they continue to grow. It's like beaver's teeth, and if it continually grows because the horse biology expects the horse to use up the extra hooves that it's generating. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm not a horse scientist. But the thing is, when they're not running all the time, they often just end up having extra hooves, and it can like curve out. It could just like grow out like a toenail. I think it's made of the same stuff as like a human nail. So when it gets long and unkempt, it just looks bad, and it affects the horse's health and how well they're able to walk, from my understanding. I don't know, man. I just watched the hooves get cut. The thing is, I don't even like horses. Dude, I hate horses. I just don't understand their motives. They're kind of confusing. The people that like horses are the people that I don't typically get along with. Let me just take this, right? Yeah, we kind of have to take this. But I like horses' hooves getting trimmed. There's something. It's like the satisfying, sick, satisfying twisted videos. Okay, now that I mention it, I have a lot of sick, not sick, but it's like weird, guilty pleasures of online content. And I guess I'm glad I started with the hoof one, because it is the most tame one. There's something about it though, like how the horse has really long hooves, and then a horse hoof doctor comes in, and then they're able to cut all the hooves, extra hooves, so it looks really nice. But more than that, it's like they cut out all the... At first you have to build like a level of rapport with the horse, so they kind of talk to you, give it treats or whatever, and then they get the horse's hoof on their lap, leaving less range. That's crazy. And then they start carving at it, and it's typically like a long form video that's cut down to the highlights of where the big chunks of hooves are coming out, because I'm sure it takes a long time. I've never seen a full-length video. Typically the highlight videos of hooves getting chunked out. It's weird. But if you haven't, you have to try before you cast stones. Like, please. It's uh, they're worth it. They're worth it. If you don't know, you have to try. The second one that I wanted to one of my, where's my list? I have a list of it. A second sick interest is, yo, if you haven't watched hornet nest exterminating videos, you gotta try that one. These are like gateway drugs to online like rabbit hole scrolling. Actually, I'm just farm this for a bit. I can't get coins like this, right? Maybe not. So first is hoof videos. Second is hornet's nest busting. Man, dude, that thing goes crazy. Actually, even in like preparation for right before I started recording this, I was like, do I still like hornet nest extermination videos? So I looked up on YouTube, and I just kind of sat there for a bit, and I just kind of watched the whole thing. So I'm like, yeah, I do. Am I still addicted to this stuff? Takes one hit. Oh yeah. That's kind of how it went down. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, essentially they go into someone's house or even like some field. It depends on the wasp. Like the one that I just saw was like a bunch of yellow jackets. And they're hidden in like someone's garage. And there's like a whole thing. I mean, I guess the family that lives there that ask for the wasp removal, I guess they don't know how big the wasp nest is. But when the guy comes in with a ladder, tears open the ceiling and finds a huge wasp nest or like a hornet nest. And then he vacuums it up. And then they go. Dude, this boss is freaking me out. Sure, I'll take coins. So the guy essentially, what's his YouTube? I think it's King Hornet or something like that. Oh my god, Hornet King. That's the one that I typically watch, and he knows what we want. That man knows me and why I'm there. He does the exact same thing over and over, but I'm loving it. Tear open the ceiling, ton of wasps, vacuum them all up. And there's some other ones where there's another one. I don't know if it's Hornet King, but there's a few channels that does this. There's videos of basically outdoor hornets. They have an underground like nest. And I think there was like even a story of a guy that was lawn mowing, and then he rolled his lawnmower over the underground wasp nest. So the wasp like attacked him, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna call an exterminator." And the exterminator comes in. He's like, "Okay, there's one hole, maybe there's a few holes that the wasp go in and out of for an underground nest, but he puts a vacuum right on top the entrance or the exit, not like covering the hole, but just to the side of it so the light can get through." That's important because if you don't know, wasps see light and they're like, "Oh, that's a way out," or "That's a way in." Or rather, no, they would think that that's a way out. It's very important because when he starts tapping the ground, he like stomps on the ground, and the wasps get angry, and they're like, and they they call everyone, and they're like, "Yo, we gotta defend our colony." So they all start swarming out the door, right? But little do they know, there's a vacuum that's waiting for them to suck them up. And they go tuk, 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 tuk. And they all get sucked up, dude. They don't know. And of course he has a whole beast suit on. But when for some operations like that, they all get sucked up, dude. They don't even know. They don't even know what's coming to them. They get all sucked up. And then the guy would dig out the whole nest or whatever. Oh, I should have picked up the red heart. And man, it's so nice. It's also because wasps are just a huge assholes, right? Like they're not doing anything. Sure, you could say that for ecological systems, they get rid of, I don't know, they help break down dead animals or whatever, or dead plant matter. I don't care, bro. Do I look like I? Oh my god, dude, I'm getting hit by everything. Does it look like I care about? Like they're not kind in the animal kingdom. Not that animals are supposed to be kind. They're just mean. Like lawn mowing, like stinging someone that's lawn mowing. Like let him play, Rev. Like let him live. Let the guy live a little. Let him mow his own lawn. This is private property. They're not. The wasps are not allowed to be there. They're trespassing. Can't take a race. I can take everything else. What else? What else? Oh, health ups. How? What else? What else? I had other sick and twisted enjoyments. Oh, and what the wasp guy does at the end? He always does this. Dude, he knows what I'm there for. So he always does this. So he tears out the wasp nest, right? And he sucks up all the adult wasps with the adult hornets. But in that nest, there's always little larvae. So they're like embedded into the nest. So what he does is he takes the nest home, and he lives in like a farmhouse or whatever, and he has chickens. And then he basically drops the nest down, and he kind of opens them up a little bit. So the chicken can see the larva, and the chickens feast on the larvas. And man, what a good feeling. I hardly share this. I've not shared this interest with anyone just about, so I don't know if this is a common interest or am I just kind of crazy. But if I am crazy, some of y'all lying because that video has way too many views. So it can't be that sick and twisted because, dude, it's like popping videos. Popping videos, they're a little bit too gross for me, so I'm not as interested in popping videos. I can see the appeal of it. Ooh. I'll take two. They're a little bit too gross for me, so I cannot handle popping videos. But that is a common one. That is a common, like, guilty pleasure. Because it is really gross, and you don't really want to go around. It's not as socially acceptable as saying that you like watching cat videos, right? But there is a genuine demand for that business. There's Dr. Pimple Popper or something like that that has a bunch of clans with terrible, either it's like a white head or black heads, and he goes around and then they. I see the appeal, is what I'm trying to say. But horse hoof and hornet hornet nest extermination, that's something else. That's, to me, that hits a little bit harder. Ooh, this solves our range issues a little bit, I think. Does it? Kind of. It kind of solved our range issue. Replaces it with other issues, but you don't have to worry about that for now. This is fine. Where was I? Horsehoof, hornet nest. There's also other hornet videos. I don't know if anyone else knows this guy. I think he goes by Chang Lang. I've seen him on... I've seen his name be mentioned in like Instagram videos. And it would be like a Chinese guy. I guess in China. And he finds hornets that are just kind of hovering over like a bee's nest or like a bird's nest or something like that. They're being a pest, essentially. So Chang Lang, I don't even know if it's his name, but that's what all the comments say. So the guy goes around with a scissor or like a chopstick or like a frying pan, and he like whacks the hornet out of the air. Because hornet is like hovering, or these are huge Asian, Japanese wasps or whatever. They're like hovering in the air. They're looking at little bees to assault. But Chang Lang comes in and he whacks them. And basically the hornet or the wasp that's like that Chang Lang is hitting, it freaking explodes, right? I'm talking about this and I'm like, this might not be so very PG-13. What does the moon do? But man, dude, it's very satisfying to see like a bug. No, there's also the Chang Lang. No, I don't think that's Chang Lang. Chang Lang, I think he like tortures bugs. What he does this. I regret kind of mentioning this because this is like, you could argue that it's unacceptable. And I would say, yeah, I agree. I'm gonna watch it though. He sometimes, he builds little contraptions to torture bugs. For example, he super glues like a cockroach to a little motorized fan, and then he spins it into like 1,000 RPM, and the cockroach, it's like freaking explodes. I'm sorry, this is... And all the comments are like, Chang Lang! In my opinion, cockroaches are not sentient. I don't think we need to protect cockroaches. We've done a lot worse to mice, so if you want to take your... all creatures are sacred argument, you start that at the local biology laboratory, okay? Like, your protection movement should not start at Chang Lang doing horrible things to cockroaches. You don't even like cockroaches, I bet. Like, you probably can't even handle cockroaches near you, within 10 feet of you. I wonder if I can just use the Book of Revelations here and not get a stupid orbital. So those like bug, pest torture videos that are just insects, I love. It's honestly probably, you could argue that it's worse than popping videos because it's hurting another creature. But listen, get off my back, okay? They're bugs. They don't even know that they're alive. They don't have they don't have a... They're not alive, okay? People that are like, oh, but the bugs are so... They're alive and they're sacred. All living beings are sacred. Your ass, as soon as you enter a steakhouse, it's like, yeah, I'll take a 12 ounce. I'll take a medium rare. All that principle goes out the window. Don't pretend that you have principles. Okay? We all live in... We all have the same operating system, okay? Don't pretend that you're somehow better by defending Bug's life. I have other interests. I can't remember. But my shorts algorithm is kind of cooked. But I would like to kind of alter it just so it's just hoof and hornet nest videos. I also get a ton of little movie clips. I feel like by this point, I've already watched like Inglorious Bastards just through clips alone. Man, look at all the coins, man. Inglorious Bastards looked like an amazing movie that I spoiled myself over the course of like 100 YouTube Shorts clips. No, I gotta stop scrolling, man. I think that's where my issue is. I gotta stop watching my guilty pleasures. Everyone has them, though. So they're not as guilty. And honestly, they're not as bad as some other ones. I don't want to talk about... Never mind. There's like inner dramas of people online that's revealed to watch terrible stuff, but let's just say that I'm glad my interest kind of starts and ends with bugs being hurt and not other people. Oh, the boss died already. Well, alright. Ugh. Dark arts. No. No. No, dark arts. HP up? Oh, okay. So that was like one docket. And these days I start recording with 2 dockets because the runs are crazy long, let me tell you. The second docket is just as weird. It's not gonna get any less weird from here. So if you can't take it, just go watch hoof cutting videos. I want to talk about, what is it called? Do you pee in the shower? I want to know. And I feel like if I was having a conversation with someone, I would want to know their stance first before I kind of reveal my own views. Because I think it's okay to pee in the shower. Call me crazy. But think about it. Ooh, well, we have all the money in the world. What was I gonna say? I pee in the shower. Dude, I proudly pee in the shower. But there's some principles that I do abide by. It's not just anything goes situation. I'm just gonna hit that once. It's not anything goes situation because sometimes you gotta share your shower with other people. And I'm not gonna ask, hey, I know we're sharing this, I'm not gonna ask a random roommate, is it okay if I pee in the shower? That's kind of a little bit too forward. I don't know why, but that feels a little bit too forward, so it's probably best for me to not ask any questions and simply not pee in the shower because it becomes a public space at that point. And same principle goes for any public showers. Like for example, like swimming pool showers. It'll be crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting guppy again. It'll be crazy if I saw anyone at the swimming pool shower peeing, or if I go in after someone to rinse myself off, like before or after going to the swimming pool, and I smelled pee, I would be really, I wouldn't call the cops or anything. I'll just be like, oh, that's kind of like bad manners. Oh, you can just go in, right? Yeah, you just go. It'd be kind of bad manners. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just not ideal. I know some people don't like pee, but me, I'm not gonna call myself a pee guy. Peas to me aren't terribly gross. I feel like some people might take that and then take it the wrong direction. I'm not a pee-phile. Okay, maybe I don't say it like that. Maybe peas don't do anything for me in a positive direction. Does that make sense? What it does for me is, it doesn't do anything for me, is my point. I feel like I'm talking myself into a corner the more I try to have an open conversation. Maybe that's kind of my issue. Pee is not ideal. Unconsensual pee is not ideal. So that's why I say, if I'm sharing a bathroom with anyone, or if I expect my bathroom to be regularly shared by someone else, that's when I hold my pee in the shower. I feel like I don't talk about this anymore. I don't know. It's such a weird conversation. I told you it wasn't gonna get any less weird. So if you're like a guest at my home, just expect there to be traces of pee in the shower, okay? And honestly, your own shower should also have traces of pee, because it just washes down. And now there are some extremes. There's an extremist group of people that speak the same language, but the extreme type of viewpoints are like, oh, I pee in the sink because it washes down in the sink anyways when I wash my hands. That is kind of mental, because sure, you could argue that it has the same principles as my argument, which is tier shot speed, sure, why not? Which is, it's not hurting anyone. So when you pee in the shower, first of all, it's not hurting anyone. I'm sure you could say it's environmentally friendly. I'm not going to argue that, but it technically is. Pee is naturally water soluble. It'll be washed down by soap, by a ton of water and a ton of soap. So it shouldn't be an issue. And if you're worried about the pee smell, there's a smell of soap, there's a smell of shampoo, and it's just, pee doesn't gross me out particularly, so that's maybe why I'm more okay with peeing in the shower. Pooping in the shower is not okay. I'm not even gonna discuss that, because that is kind of beyond me. So that's where my argument starts and ends. Peeing in the shower. No peeing in the sink. No pooping in the shower. Just peeing in the shower when it's a shower that I primarily use. So when you visit my apartment, just expect the shower to have a little bit of pee. Of course, it gets all washed down, but I can't guarantee that it's pee-free. And I think I accept the same level of danger, I guess, if I were to use a friend's shower. And that's fine with me. I'm fine with someone else's shower having, you know, a bit of pee. If it smells like pee, that's a different story. If it openly smells like pee, then that's a we're not having the same discussion, right? I hope that I'm making a little bit of sense. I might have a crazy viewpoint, but I have there's logic behind it. This water soluble, it makes sense. It's not the end of the world if I smell... If there's pee in the shower. Now, this is where it gets crazy though. When I was younger, I had the same viewpoints as when I was younger. When I was younger, I was like, yeah, peeing in the shower is okay. But my younger self took it a little bit too far. My 12-year-old ass would think, oh dude, it's shower time. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's not worth sharing. Maybe I don't want to share this anymore. Do I share this? I'm thinking at this point, I have a decision to make here. Whether I make a secret public, that doesn't have to be public. This is not, I don't have to share everything about my life, right? No, this is fine. No, it makes sense. It goes along with the principle that I am proposing here, which is when I was 12 years old, I would say, oh, I'm gonna go in the shower, but I really need to pee. But I don't want to. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pee into the bathtub. Oh fuck, it's too late. I'm gonna pee into the bathtub and I'll let the water run while it warms up. Because I have to let the water run anyways. Right? So why wouldn't I just stand off the side of the bathtub? And why don't I let the water kind of flush it all down so that when I jump into the shower, the pee's all gone and the water is hot. Now that I mention it, it's not too crazy, but I feel like there's some... I know I'm gonna get some DMs. I know that I'll get some DMs from this. But I hope that it's not an extremist view. I didn't pee in the sink or nothing. If I said, oh hey guys, I peed in the sink. Or even like, oh, when I was 12, I peed in the sink. That's kind of crazy. Never mind. Don't loop me in with the sink pissers. Sink pissers. Dude. Go to r/sink pissers, dude. It's freaking crazy in there. Freaking crazy in there. They don't know. Just give that place a visit. I don't associate with those guys. I hope that the points that I've made doesn't discredit me from any of my other opinions. Just don't loop me in with the sink pissers. I've only peed in the shower, okay? It doesn't matter if I was in the shower or out of the shower when I peed in it. Right? Who knows? Who's to say? Does it really matter at the end of the day? Ooh, but honestly though, sharing this, I've never shared this with anyone. Now, I've shared it with too many people. But I do feel a little bit of weight off my chest. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know I needed this. It's a little bit cathartic. Maybe it'll be a bit of an issue later in my life. But it's... Dude, it makes sense, doesn't it? And am I... Okay, does the things that I did... Does the things that I do, which is simply peeing in the sink, I don't pee from outside to inside the bathroom anymore. I've outgrown that. First, because I don't have a bathtub anymore. And I'm not going to... Because I have a standing shower. And heaven forbid... I'm not gonna do this, by the way. I am not going to stand outside my standing shower and pee into it. I've talked about pee way too many times now. But that is crazy. If someone does that, that is actually crazy. And I will never fall into that. I just pee in the shower when I'm in the shower now, okay? Oh man, that is a level of catharsis that I don't regularly experience. And now you might be asking, okay, how come with everything that you said, you don't agree with the sink pissers? That is a bit of a loaded question. And I would like to plead the fifth. I'm kidding. It's extreme because when you pee, I feel like when you pee into the sink, I feel like a prosecutor. That's like, and the defendant is someone that peed into the sink, and I'm trying to accuse them of being unhygienic or whatever. Peeing in the sink, you do not have that aim. You do not have the aim to get all the particles into the sink area where the water washes it down. There's a good chance, no, there's beyond a reasonable doubt that when you pee into the sink, as a guy, I guess I'm talking about a guy. No women can pee into the sink, right? So as a guy, if they were to pee into a sink, there is a non-zero chance that pee is all washed down by the time you wash your hands. Ooh, good items for the first freaking time, man. There's a non-zero chance, and I think that has to be factual. This is beyond the reasonable doubt, right? And as for the sink, oh no, not as for the sink. As for the shower, peeing in the shower. That is the only argument that I'm defending, by the way. Peeing in the shower. When you pee in the shower, there is 100% chance that the pee gets washed down. 100% of the pee that leaves my body in the shower makes it to the end of the shower. Makes it down the drain by the end of my shower session. There's no way a urine particle survives the onslaught of water and soap that happens inside my shower. And there's pressurized water, I'm spinning around, I have soap flying everywhere in the shower. And also, I have good hygiene. And I disinfect my shower on a weekly basis. So my shower doesn't smell like pee, okay? I'm getting defensive now. And I encourage you to pee in the shower. If you haven't, this is a good time. This is a good time in the economy to really kind of embrace things that make sense. And try new things. You don't have to be scared. If you're not sure, at least try. I don't know why. Public service announcement. Weather alert. Try peeing in the shower. It's not bad, I promise. It won't hurt you. It won't hurt you. What are you, scared? Scared of a little pee? A little bit of piss. I'm so glad that The run's almost over. I am so sick of talking about piss. Maybe it's because I'm a nurse, I'm much more okay with piss. Even if, of all the body fluids from strangers to end up on my hand, pee is like the top of the list. And that is not, okay, that is not because I have a fondness for pee. This is because there are much worse things to end up on my hand in terms of human bodily fluids, okay? And don't get me started on other secretions, okay? Like there's a lot of worse things than pee to end up on your shirt or end up on your hand. Just because I have a bigger picture doesn't mean and my tolerance for pee has come through perseverance. It wasn't handed to me. I had to work for it, okay? But that's not invitation for someone to pee on me, okay? I don't want that. I don't know what water sports is. Leave me alone. What a loaded episode. Oh my god. I need a drink. I need to drink a piss. Thanks for watching. See ya.